Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, I'm Sonnet with Sonnet's Garden Blooms. I'm the owner and the creator here. Thank you all for stopping by, and today's video is going to be a wrap up of my spring DIYs. So this is episode 6. If you haven't seen episodes 1 through 5, I'm going to link them in the descriptions below, so go ahead, check those out. But today I have 6 spring DIYs for you, and I hope you guys enjoy. For project 1, we are going to make this spring wreath. I did find a metal wire form, and I think I picked that up at the Walmart. It was in my stash of items, and then I went to the dollar store and I picked up a lot of these other items. It took 4 bags of Spanish moss, and I laid that out. I also picked up these terracotta pots. The 2-pack, they were $1.25, and then that was like the larger ones. The smaller ones were 3 for $1.25, and but I placed them every other one. So I wanted a large container, then a small, then a large, then a small, and I found the right amount to put around the entire wreath. And from there, I am going to start adhering them. So I used this twine that I picked up at the Walmart, and I am taking it and I am running it through the actual hole in the bottom and around, and I am now adhering them by tying them onto the actual form. And I did all of that. Now I'm going back and I'm using hot glue, and I'm just hot gluing all that moss down into place to give it just some more stability. I'm also adding a little hot glue on behind each of the pots as well. And from there, then we are going to start by putting the actual fillers in each of the containers. I also should note that I did use DIY's White Swan, and I did a whitewash on all of the containers. I added a little water to the paint just to dilute it a little bit, and then I whitewashed the containers to give them that look. So I found this foam at the dollar store as well. We're going to put a piece in each one. And if you remember a few videos back, I had found all of these little succulents at the dollar store as well. I picked up a whole bunch of them, so it was perfect for this project. And I just started inserting all of them in all the containers. And to my surprise, when I was there as well, I found this Reindeer Moss, which is a really soft moss, and it just looks so springy. So I filled each of the containers with it, and I just think it turned out awesome. I'm loving how it just brings a different colored green to the entire piece. So I found these in a haul quite a few hauls ago, and I picked these up for 99 cents. They were from the Target, and they were originally $30. I determined that I wanted to take out all that extra greenery that was in there. I did that, and then I washed them up, and then I took Apothecary from DIY, and I gave the pots 2 coats of Apothecary. From there, then after I did the 2 coats, I also painted the bottom. And my vision with project 2 is to create an Easter egg tree. So I had found these packs of eggs at the dollar store, and I divided them into 3 piles. I painted a third of them, the mint green from DIY, or mint chip, I should say, and then I also painted the other third cake batter, and then this blue is pedal pusher. So I used that for these, and then afterwards I did apply a clear coat to seal them. So now that the pots are dry, I am applying a clear wax from DIY, and then from there we are going to apply the white wax from DIY. I really love this look, and it reminds me of spring, and I just wiped it on and then remove any of the excess. So if you remember from my last video, I had those really pretty greenery stems. I inserted one into the center of each one, and now I took my eggs and I divided them into two piles. I'm going to put half of the eggs on one of the trees and then half of the eggs on the other. And I'm just putting a little bit of the hot glue on each egg and just placing them strategically throughout the tree. And in the end, I do like how this turned out. My vision was a little different, so I think I might add some more twigs or something additional to it, maybe some ribbon. I just wanted to, afterwards, I felt like it needed something more. For project 3, we are going to take 3 books that are soft bound, and we ripped off the covers, and now we are taking DIY's beadboard, and we are painting all of the binded edges and painting the top cover as well, and we are going to stamp a saying on here. So I had this set of stamps. I had them for a while. I actually have like 3 different sets or different fonts. What I'm doing is I'm laying them out, and I am going to stamp like one word on each of the books. And I'm using the IOD black ink to do this. It is a permanent ink. And in between, I just wipe off the set of stamps. But I absolutely love how this turned out. From there, I'm taking twine that I also ended up getting at the Walmart, and I'm just adding a little twine to it. And then I'm going to take some of the fabric that I had picked up at the Walmart too, and just some drop cloth scraps, and I'm adding just a bow to it and a bit of greenery to finish this piece off. For project 4, we are going to make a Hello Spring sign. I got this round at the Home Depot, and the Hello sign, or the Hello cutout, I ended up picking that up at Hobby Lobby. I am going and applying a stain throughout the front and back of the sign, and then from there I'm using painter's tape and I'm blocking off an area, and I'm using DIY's Old School, and I'm painting the center that charcoal gray. On the bottom, I'm also painting with beadboard just a little bit of a white. I'm painting the Hello. I had initially painted it black. I decided to paint it with something more of a springy color to go with my whole theme, and I chose Apothecary. So I painted the whole piece just one time, and then I went back and I did clear coat it with polyacrylic. I like to use Big Top as well, but I had extra poly that I'm trying to use up, and so I used that today. And then from there, I took a wet rag and I wet distressed, and then I applied a polyacrylic over the entire piece as well. So now we're using E6000 to hold Hello down. I just wiped it all over the entire piece, centerized it, and pressed down firmly. You want to leave it laying flat for a while before picking it up to dry. I then took IOD's typesetting stamps and I laid those out. We are going to use the lowercase. I like how it looks with all the lowercase. And we are using the white ink as well from IOD. This is one of my favorite set of stamps because it does come with not only the lowercase, but the uppercase and also the numbers. Now we're going to add some decorative floral to this. I picked up this lamb's ear at the Walmart. I used my staple gun to hold it in place. I just had this scrap piece of ribbon lying around, and I used that twine. Instead of using floral wire, I used the twine to hold it all together, and then I stapled the bow on as well. I love how this sign turned out. I am so excited to get this in my booth, and I plan on making more. Now for project 5, I had these old clothespins lying around. So what we're going to do is we are going to take DIY's a fire starter, the paint, and I love this color. It just reminds me of a carrot. We are then going to paint all 3 that color, let them dry, and then we are going to take the drill and just drill a tiny hole on the top to have the green stick into. So I found this greenery at Walmart, and you can see it just sticks right into the top like I said. But before we do that, we are going to take DIY's clear wax and we are going to seal all of the clothespins with that wax. Anytime you're using DIY paint, you always want to seal it either with a wax or like a Big Top or a polyacrylic so that it completely seals it and does not reactivate the paint. I do that to all of the pieces, and then from there we're going to stick the tops in. So what I did is I did put the top in each one, and I applied a little bit of hot glue just to make sure that they stay in there. I also had a bunch of scrap pieces from my drop cloth, and I just tied a little piece of drop cloth around each of the carrots just to give them a little bit more, just something cute around them. I love how they turned out. So for our last project here, I forgot to hit record, but I had these 2 pieces of old wood, and I drew out the bunny rabbit, and then I cut it out with my jigsaw. For my next time doing this, I am going to create a pattern, I think, out of like a piece of cardboard and make sure each side is somewhat the same. So that's a tip for you. I am painting it completely white with just some latex paint. And I'm painting the top and around the edges. I also painted the back. From there, I took that same piece of fabric and I cut a chunk out and gave the bunny a scarf. And now I'm going to write on here Happy Easter. And I'm using the typesetting stamps again. I'm using all capitals. I'm using the black IOD ink. And I stamped hop first, and then I'm going back and I'm going to add the P and the Y. Because the actual stamps only come with one of each letters, you just have to strategically space it out to make, and then add if it needs two of the same letters. Now I'm adding Easter. And I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm just lining it up, and because Easter has two E's, I'm just doing it east, and then we're going to do the after. Now that it's dried, I am going to go in with DIY's Old 57. It's like a turquoise. It reminds me of the same color that's in that fabric. And I am going to make the O look like an Easter egg. And so I just follow it around. After I get done painting it, I then go back and just add a little bit of texture to that egg with the paintbrush. So I just kind of blot on it to add that texture. So what did you guys all think? I'm debating what my favorite was. I actually absolutely love this Hello Spring sign behind me. My least favorite, as I was pulling it together, I feel like it needs something more, were the topiaries with the eggs, and I like them. I had a vision. It just, it was crunch time, guys. It was crunch time, and I wanted to give you guys 6 DIYs, but that by far was my least favorite. I am going to figure something out before I do sell those. I like it. It just needs something. Now, this Friday, I think I'm going to bring you guys thrifting. I need to pick up some new thrifted items to flip. And things have been selling like crazy in my booths. I am so excited. If you haven't seen the video where I set my goals, I wanted to make like up to 5 times my booth fee, and 2 of my booths are doing so good. The third one is just not fully stocked yet, so I am definitely going to need more items to put in those booths, so I'm going to go thrifting. So that is Friday's video. You guys have yourself a great week, and we will see you Friday. Bye.